I'm just so I want to see what happens next chapter before I call the end of Sukuna trash, because like a lot of people I was really disappointed with how it ended. Maybe because I just need to read the whole fight over again and see how it ended to feel that way. But a lot of people are hating on Gege right now, saying that he fumbled, but I feel like he's got us in something like this before, and we attacked JJK and Gege personally, and we fell for the okie doke. We got three more chapters. If it ends like this, then you got it. But I think three more chapters. Let Gege cook, because that's all they've been doing is cooking for the better part of this year. Let them cook, and we can talk after. So I'm really waiting to the next chapter before I decide anything.
I guess
Let's move on to the next kind of like the big topic that is taking place over the internet. Jujutsu Kaisen recent chapter. Now it's not over. JJK is not over, but the recent chapter has a lot of people in a stir. I even put up a poll on our YouTube channel saying, "How do we feel about the ending of Sukuna?" And that's what I put up. And the three options were: it was good, it was trash, it was mid. Those were the three options. 28% said it was good. 33% said it was mid. And 40% said it was trash. That means the majority of the people voted Sukuna's end was trash and it wasn't great. So before we get into the Sukuna stuff and all that, before we dive into that and really have that conversation, let's talk about some positives of that chapter. One positive. I'll start first. That Gojo joke was funny as hell. I'm not gonna lie. That is one of the funniest moments in manga history.
it really was. It really was. It
And
saved the
I'm not
chapter.
even trolling too. That
No,
was
it saved the chapter for me. It saved the chapter.
it's legitimately funny. I can, I feel like that's a normal take too, because
I'm
that came
pretty,
out of nowhere.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up sending like a similar letter to like Riddell's kid one day. So it's just what? What?
So, so Blottie's gonna take me out. Okay, all
That's
right.
crazy.
Seems so. Seems so. But what do y'all think? And Lonnie me agrees it's funny joke. Y'all think it's a funny joke?
It was funny.
No, it was funny. It was absolutely funny.
Man, these guys are
Oh.
giving me no energy over
Let's
here.
talk
No,
about
no,
what
no, no,
really
no. It,
happened.
it was
No,
funny.
no, no.
It was
No,
funny. My thing was, I think I'm just so I want to see what happens next chapter before I call the end of Sukuna trash, because like a lot of people I was really disappointed with how it ended. Maybe because I just need to read the whole fight over again and see how it ended to feel that way. But a lot of people are hating on Gege right now, saying that he fumbled, when I feel like he's got us in something like this before, and we attacked JJK and Gege personally, and we fell for the okie doke. We got three more chapters. If it ends like this, then you got it. But I think three more chapters. Let Gege cook, because that's all they've been doing is cooking for the better part of this year. Let them cook, and we can talk afterwards. So I'm really waiting to the next chapter before I decide anything.
I guess my question is, how should Sukuna went out?
I think
And
people
why?
wanted a
And
grandiose
not
battle.
him looking like Migi from
Hold on,
Parasite
hold on,
time.
hold on.
How should he have gone out, and why would it have been better?
That's Lonnie that.
I didn't want him to go out like that, like some little
Like what?
bitch. Like he looks
No,
like he looks like me. He looked like Migi from Parasite. Oh my
right, but
god, bro!
how is he? How is he a bitch?
Did you not see his ass sweating and all of? He looked so desperate and what? Oh my god!
How is he desperate if usually offered a mercy didn't take it?
I said he looked desperate. Not towards the end, he was just like, "I'm all right, I'm dead, whatever." No, but all honesty, when it comes to the chapter, was it? Where do I start? With Sukuna, he's like malevolent. He's like malice and like chaos incarnate. He is nothing but problems always, and I knew he was probably going to lose. Like there was like a 99.9% chance he was going to lose. I'll say like 99 because Gege's a troll like that. But my issues were I didn't like not that it's written badly, because there's this to like not liking something and it being bad. I think I was arguing with you before. I didn't like how we still don't know what the hell UG's domain is called. We really don't know. I didn't like how the main character's domain, I guess, 100% hit or sure hit. Yeah, I thought I was hoping it would look cooler. I was hoping it would look better than like that half panel or whatever. I barely even know. I had to like reread it after you told me that it hit. I had to reread it. I was like, oh wait, it actually hit. It was mid. And then the fact that like he died to like a black, because I would just assume like reading like, oh, domain expansion. Oh, he's gonna lose to UG's domain expansion. No, he just lost like a 500th Black Flash from that day. Like Jesus Christ. And no, like I said, it's stuff like I cannot like something and it being bad and me not liking is two different things, Ty.
No, it's when y'all sometimes y'all make arguments, it's like y'all are being disingenuous on purpose.
No, it's not. One, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm saying I don't like.
No. It's not that. Did he lose to a Black Flash, or was he hit with a soul resonance attack from Nobra, which weakened the soul, and then he got hit with the soul splitting dismantle?
Yes, but the Black Flash was still the last hit. The Black Flash was still the last hit. Yes.
No, but Ty at the same time, like I mean, I get it. Ty always
he wants me to be very specific. Yeah, he got hit with Nobara stuff, the Nobara shit, which fucked up the soul, which was what we all predicted if she came back, and then he got hit with the Black Flash, and the Black Flash is what finished it off. That's what happened. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm just saying that. Oh well, he just lost to a Black Flash. I'm like,
I literally said how I didn't like the short hit final thing. So it's like there was clearly steps before that, but the Black Flash, then also the Hikari fight was one of the dumbest fights in manga history. Me, I'm sorry, that shit was like a waste. That off screen shit was like a waste of time, bro. Like, I'm sorry, that was the fact that like and here's why I say it's like it's a waste of a fight, because like I said, we still don't know why Sukuna was called the Fallen One. We still don't know what his real core wound was, why he wanted to grow, why he wanted to be so strong, why he put his all into Jujutsu, why he also Sukuna hates everybody. Why does he have this one companion that was around for like 1,000 years that was just chilling? Also, how was he alive for 1,000 years? Because he wasn't like no cursed object or anything. We don't know nothing about about Mr. Iceman. We don't know how he met Kenjaku. We don't know how he first met Sukuna and how Sukuna accepted him. We don't know none of this shit. So it's like, and then after Sukuna loses, he just offs himself. It's like, and he says, "Oh well, if you met Sukuna back then, y'all would have lost." What? I'm just like, wait, what? So you just like, instead of just saying like, "Oh, if you met Sukuna back then, you were lost," why don't we get like a little flashback of Sukuna back then? Maybe it's like maybe some lore. Maybe actually make him like useful to the story besides him just holding back Hikari. Like, I don't know. But to me, he was a waste of a character. He was a waste of a character and it was a waste of an opportunity. So I didn't like that shit either.
If there's a prequel, that'll be fire. But that's a lot of hope. I don't know if there's going to be a prequel, but we'll see. I'm not going to say never. This is I don't know.
Yeah, Nico, I'm not saying the fight should have been main focus. I'm saying that the fight could have led to like some lore or something connected to Sukuna, because Sukuna being like only having one ally and us not knowing a single thing about that ally, to me is just bad writing. If there's like a big bad and there's only one person that keeps around him for 1,000 years and we don't even know how that guy's been alive for 1,000 years, and it's the only person that Sukuna somewhat trusts, and we know nothing about them or the relationship or how they met, that's bad writing to me, in my opinion.
Well, quick question, Lonnie. Quick question.
Well, before you ask the question, we want to get everybody's thoughts, of course. I'll go, and then Miles, you give your final thoughts, your thoughts too. And Ty, you only asked the question, so you can give your final thoughts as well. But for me, when it comes to this fight, I mean, I don't have a strong opinion for the ending yet because there's still 4 more chapters. I usually reserve my opinions, kind of similar to like when all for one, and I'm unsure if Sukuna's returning, but it's similar to like how when All for One was defeated by Bakugo, I was like, I don't like it, but I don't have an opinion until we'll see more. this is kind of how I feel right now. I don't have a strong opinion until see more. I'll have a more concrete opinion at the end. But as of right now, I think the general sentiment is that it's just kind of underwhelming in terms of Sukuna's end. And for him kind of looking pathetic in a meat thing, I actually don't really care that much that he would like turn into a meat thing. And I even like the point that not only people in the chat made, but even Ty made. Because I do think it's a very interesting point. And I actually kind of like the point of you thinking you're all that and then you going out very pathetically. I think that's a pretty interesting point. But overall, in terms of the final confrontation, I just was underwhelmed between Yuji and Sukuna, the final confrontation. I was underwhelmed for Yuji's domain expansion. And then the final sequence of him ending, I was underwhelmed there. I just expected something bigger for this final clash, for Yuji to do what, this is going to be his shining moment. And like we said, I mean, he did his, soul cutting ability thing. Nobra came in, did what she's done in a Black Flash. It just wasn't that interesting to me. And I already said I didn't like the conversation between Yuji and Sukuna at the end when Yuji was trying to connect with him. I didn't like that. I personally interpreted him trying to connect with him for some reason. I just don't like that. There's no way someone's going to convince me for that. So those are like the big things. And I guess the biggest thing for me at the very least is that I wanted more narrative in term to understand Sukuna better. The fact that we didn't get that backstory, the fact we didn't dive into Sukuna and what led up to him being this great evil, this great curse, him having these feelings and these opinions, not getting that, I think it doesn't do Sukuna justice in my opinion. So those narrative threads, the final confrontation, and then Yuji's dialogue at the end is just stuff I just didn't really like that much. But we'll see. 4 more chapters, anything can happen. I will keep my opinion open until it's officially over.
I don't really have a crazy opinion. I really don't know how to feel. I'm not in the camp where I really care about all of the background lore of Sukuna and why he's doing what he's doing and all of that stuff. But I also felt like I was missing a little something. I've been tired of this kind of like Sukuna Final Countdown arc in general to begin with, so I guess that's kind of why I'm checked out. The main thing I do want to agree with Lani is that Urame Hikari thing. Um, that shit was pointless. I don't understand. Like they're just stalling. They give a little bit of exposition here and there, but it was nothing worthwhile. I could have gone without seeing them at all, and I don't think it would have changed anything. All he was kind of doing is giving insight to Sukuna's mental state, whether he's using full power or not. I mean, it just felt cheap just to have them there, just to be there. Like there was no actual resolution for them. Other than that, I really don't know how to feel yet. It just feels like I don't know. There was a lot of action in this arc. I really don't know what I'm missing, but it's missing something. It's very underwhelming. I feel like the way every other arc has kind of ended, it's been like this great culmination of something, and I'm just not feeling that with this the ending of this big battle. But
To me, it's
hopefully,
missing depth.
you think that's what it is?
It's like the weight of like why things are happening. Like, yes, this is the final battle, but I feel like final battle should like come with like not just like emotions, but with like the weight of like the history behind. Like it should be like the culmination of like everything. Like when Maki's fighting, like the culmination, like everything that she's been to up to that moment. Yuta, everything that he's been up to that moment. Yuji, he used everything. Like I think Yuji's the only one like where we saw like everything that he's been through came into fruition in that moment. But like for the rest of the main characters, we didn't get that.
Yeah, I don't think you got that for Megami. If like this whole like his the reason why he couldn't fight away from his soul because of everything that happened to him. That's the reason why it took him that long. So why wouldn't that then?
Well, he's more like the victim in the situation, so I guess you could say yeah. But like
I would just ask like why wouldn't he be included in one of the characters that this is the culmination of everything he's experienced? Like Sukuna sought out to destroy him and everything he loved to ensure he could never escape, and it was because of the love he had for Itadori that he was able to escape. Like that's, and I think it's also a combination of Gojo. Gojo's whole thing was fostering the next generation so that they can surpass him, and then they are the ones that ended the final confrontation. So I just
Well,
disagree. But
no,
I mean, I think
let
you're
me make a
referring
good.
mostly to the villains, though. Like Kenjaku, man, I don't know what Kenjaku's deal was.
That's a fumble for
Two,
me.
yeah, Kenjaku, and obviously Arame. It's more so the villains, and I guess this is unfair, but I held Sukuna in so high regard, and I just don't
True.
think he lived up to my
True.
expectation.
So I'm sorry. Do we know why Kenjaku did what he did?
yeah,
Well, I know,
wanted-
like we know for the what's it called? What's the thing called with Tengen?
no, I'm saying he wanted to optimize curse energy and start the merger.
Yeah, he wanted the merger, but I'm saying, why did he want the merger? What was the original reason why he wanted the merger? Why? How did he find Yuji's dad? Why? How did it? I mean, how did he find Yuji's mom's body? How did that conversation?
So we know
go?
that he wanted to create an evolution, and piece of it was his curiosity.
Man, that's weak.
I have a question. How so? What do you?
I
mean,
don't-
curiosity is like a good base, but it's not like there's no depth to it. It's just like, oh, I'm just curious. Like, okay, but what led you to be curious?
I can't really parse it with anything substantial, Ty.
Mhm.
But it's the same way I feel about Aizen. I think curiosity is like
That's not
a
tangible.
main moving point. It's not like
what made him curious? We don't like why. How did he find Yuji's mom's body? How did he convince Yuji's dad to do the back shots? How did that whole conversation go? Like, there's like so many things that I feel like when in terms of Kenjaku, like we didn't really get. So like,
Well, before we
I
get
feel
into
like
that, Ty, what do you think about this chapter?
I enjoyed the chapter. I really did. For one, I wanted to see how they were able to beat Sukuna, and I'm happy they beat him with love, because that was the biggest thing, is that Sukuna's isolated and love was 100% going to beat him. That's why when people are saying that Sukuna was going to win, I was like, there's just no way. That would be so inconsistent thematically if they were to lose. I also think that Itadori's full circle moment of him understanding the value of life, because this whole thing was that him. I think that his whole story was about him not valuing himself. If you really think about it, like we see that with the binding vow of him agreeing to let Sukuna take his life as a hurting one, but he doesn't include himself. We see his willingness to die, his willingness and acceptance of himself dying for the greater good, but not really seeing the value in his own life. And I think that when he's having that conversation with Sukuna in his domain, he's talking about how through all his experiences, everyone's life has meaning to it. You don't have to do something grandiose. Because he thought originally that what's going to give his life meaning is if he takes on this massive task of taking down Sukuna. But not really understanding that believing that act will give your life meaning kind of diminishes others around you who don't have maybe those aspirations. So I think that him realized that despite if you're trying to take down Sukuna, despite if you're just living a normal life, your life has value. I think that's the exact opposite of Sukuna, who doesn't see value in anything. So I think that him coming to that conclusion I thought was beautiful. I also think, I love Nobara coming back. I think her whole thing coming back, I appreciated that, especially when you look at like a lot of the foreshadowing of the final finger. I think that was really well done. We knew that Gojo had the final finger. We knew it was always in play. We didn't really know exactly what to do with it. And then the conversation having Yuta about talking about how they're going to take a gamble, which was obviously alluding to Nobara. I think that Gojo has such faith in the next generation that he set up everything for them. Even though he believed he was going to win, he still took all these provisions to ensure that next generation could take over in case. And that really just shows the difference between the two strongest of the previous era and then his era, like his mindset. Obviously that ties back to his relationship with Ghetto. So I think it was well done. But
Fair. Brandon, did you give your final thought? I know you said something about it. You said a little bit, but is that all you had to say?
No, I was gonna ask Lonnie a question, but he already answered it in his back and forth with Ty. Like, so I just think wait a chapter, Lonnie. I think wait a chapter.
I'm waiting. I'm not making like any final. Like I'm optimistic because Gege hasn't let me down yet. So I'm hoping that we get some type of context, we get some type of answers. Because I'm sorry, if the story ends and we don't know why all these things, like not everything needs to be answered, of course, because it's probably not gonna get a perfect grade, of course. Nothing ever really does, but I don't know. I feel like we need some type of depth or whatever. We need something. But I'm kind of scared what's got because next chapter where it's the whole Utah situation. Last chapter is probably gonna be an epilogue or maybe like a little time skip. So it's like I don't know how
The
much.
goat.
Yeah, the goat. I don't know how much time or how much they're really gonna cram in. So I'm cautiously optimistic, but it's not looking good so far. But we'll see. We'll see. Gege hasn't let me down yet.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't want like it's annoying when just a bunch of people like crap on a mangaka. Because obviously I know how it feels being an Attack on Titan fan. Because how people were to Isayama, I think all of us here think that was extremely unfair on how he was treated at the end of the manga. And I think that ending was more so I wanted this, I didn't get this, so I hate Isayama. So that's why I don't want to be too unfair to what everything happened. I mean, I'm still honest on how everything I feel in terms of like some things being underwhelming from what I've seen. But at the very least, I think we should also put into place because Gage did say this. He's kind of finishing it how he wants. So we should always give him the credit that even if the last 4 chapters are not great, they're bad. How long is this manga? Like two something?
It's gonna end on 271.
267 chapters were good. So that's another way to think about it. Kind of like Game of Thrones. You know, people still recommend Game of Thrones, and they say the ending sucks. And I've never watched Game of Thrones, so
We don't talk about the ending.
but you think it's good still? Oh, Santo got something to say.
I just got a quick question, and this is for like Miles and Lonnie because I mean I didn't like the ending personally. But I think I had more of an issue from a technical aspect of how it was done because it did feel lackluster. Like I was looking for the Deku Punch panel versus All for One. I don't see the big difference between a dismantle Black Flash versus a regular Black Flash. So it's like stuff like that is why I really didn't like it. Like I understood that Megami reading that joke and that laugh. I think that should have been highlighted more, just to show how he overcame a lot of his internal struggles and whatnot. So my question to Lonnie and Miles is: do you think that is why you guys consider it very lackluster? Because let's say from the aspect of when Yuji and walk down Mahito, like you felt like the culmination of the end of that battle, like you were emotionally invested and whatnot. Um, do you think that's what's lacking in this chapter?
You want to go first, Miles?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe not necessarily the big hit or the Deku style punch, but like you said, the Mahito walk down. It was just missing that cherry on the top for me to kind of end it off. I wasn't really too mad at the Black Flash, but I think Riddell had mentioned it. Yuji trying to reason with Sukuna, trying to get them to come on, brother. We know that's not the way he's going. I would have preferred to be a little bit more badass, as lame as that sounds. But yeah, that's how I feel.
It's a component of why I didn't like the chapter. Like, of course, the Hikari thing and like the lack of information about Sukuna and stuff like that is another reason. But no, like to me, Sukuna and Yuji, it's like one of the biggest like on-site beefs, especially in New Gen. Like, no matter what, you expect them to just hate each other. And so, like, with everything that they've gone through in the story, I expected like the final hit to be like one of the best, like a top 10 panel in JJK. Optimistically, top 5, but like realistically, top 10 panel in JJK. And to me, that Black Flash was just like any other Black Flash panel. It wasn't super special. I don't even know if it's like the best Black Flash panel, to be honest. I'd have to look at all the other Black Flash panels, but I don't think, off the top of my head, I don't think it's the best, probably. So, or if it is, it's not really a separator from the other ones. I just expected I think in the back of my head, I probably expected the final hit to take out Sukuna to be a beautiful panel, and it was just okay.
All right, I'm gonna be a little nasty. Sorry, got to. Let's be honest. Gege saved all the GOAT stuff for this dude right here. He just did. His domain expansion, cold as hell. He went in Gojo's body with taking Kenjaku's ability, cold as hell. All the GOAT moments was right here. He had them. It was his.
To your point, Riddell, to your point, a few weeks ago when Gege was at some anime or manga event or whatever, and they did that interview, which I posted in the Telegrams and in the Discord, they still would have preferred a story with Yuta as the main character. To this day, he or she stated that they still would have preferred a story of Yuta going through the story, and if they could do it all over and not listen to the editors, they would still have Yuta as the main MC. So
W editors.
Yeah,
they do their job. Because listen, the editors be cooking.
Yeah,
do they not?
They know a little extra.
They don't be cooking, but I think Gege said that the story would be a lot more emotional, a lot more. They felt that they could have wrote it better. They could have wrote that story better. It would have been more consistent, and that I think it would have been like more personal because like you would have really been able to go on the journey with Yuta while he tries to exercise Rika. So to them, it would have been a better story than what JJK is. So I mean, that's just a creator's opinion. But you know.
He didn't need to be the son of the reincarnated twin of Sukuna to be a dog. All right, he didn't need all that. He was just a dog, straight up. I'm just saying, man.
I would say we're going to ignore Rika, huh?
Rika. You know what Rika? You know who Rika loves? This dog right here. And she knows he's a dog. That's what happened, bro. I'm just saying. That's what.
I'll let you be nasty for now.
It's not really being nasty. That's what the author said. That's what the author said in an interview, that they still would have preferred Yuta as an MC in a different story.
But I do. Well, speaking of Yuta, what do we think is going on with Yuta? Because they gotta save Yuta at the end of the chapter. What do we think is going on?
I think I've been feeling like he's gonna live, but some people feel like Gojo's gonna come back somehow. Nah, that'd be crazy.
No, Ty, I'm letting you know right now. If Gojo is somehow like a Sukuna like version, like in Yuta's body or whatever.
You thinking
like Riddell's theory. I'm officially calling this Disney Kaisen. This is Disney Kaisen.
Here's my thing, right?
Before, let me explain the theory, and then you.
Yeah, say the theory. I got something to say about that. This is
because I've been hearing a lot of people say, like, this is Riddell's headcanon, of course. So I've been hearing a lot of people say, like, oh, Gojo's and Yuta's and Gojo are sharing the same body. So I was like, that's kind of weird. So I just came up with an idea. What if Gojo kind of became a curse like Sukuna, and that's how they're sharing the same body in this situation, where Gojo just kind of became another version of Sukuna in his own way, because he's also the strongest to ever live. So that's something that just came out of my mind, and I'm low-key thinking it's very possible that's gonna happen.
And I will call it Disney Kaisen until the day I die.
Well, for point number one. First thing, what's wrong with things being Disney? I have Disney movies are fire.
Do I look like a Disney nigga to you, Ty?
Hold on, say Disney movies has some of the greatest stories of all time. Do they not?
Cool. Do I look like
Disney? One of the most iconic deaths, Mufasa, is a Disney movie. That's one of the most iconic deaths in fiction, is it not?
Yeah. Emphasis on death.
Emphasis
on death.
First of all, one, I don't think Gojo's gonna become a Sukuna's curse. I don't think so either. That's insane.
For some reason, Gojo's around.
What should I wear if this actually happens? What should I wear that day?
Here's the thing. I don't
It's not gonna happen, Riddell.
I don't think that Gojo coming back is 100% ridiculous only because of this. We know that let me tell you why. I don't think he will. I'm not saying I want him to. I think that him going to afterlife, I want him to be in afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be in that. He wants to be in the afterlife. He's like, I hope this ain't a dream. I want him to stay there. But the only reason that it's still possible technically from the power to world building standpoint is that they said the body and the soul are one. That's why Geto was able to react to Kenjaku and choke him. That's why Toji was able to, because they said the body and the soul are literally one thing. So technically, as long as his body is active, Gojo's soul is still active technically. Now, do I want it to happen? No, I want him to stay dead. But
Same.
He
Actually,
better
I'm
stay
not
dead,
gonna lie.
Ty. He better stay dead.
or
I'm
what?
gonna be mad.
What's gonna happen?
I'm gonna be
Bro,
mad.
the Gojo fans will be unbearable if he
Oh,
comes
no,
back.
I'll definitely be unbearable at the same time. I'll be mad, but I'll still be trolling the hell out of Ty. Be like, I told you, motherfucker, he was coming back. I told you.
How would you try? Oh, here he go.
Oh goodness. Randall, what do you think? You be chilling over there. What do you think about Utah? What's going on with him?
I'm scared that Random took like an edible or something, and he's just
Yeah,
gonna.
I'm just
he's
chilling. I mean, I'm. This is where I'm like Miles. I'm like, I don't care either way. Like, if he gets back to his body, that's cool. If he stays in Gojo's body, that's cool. Like,
It's not cool. It's not
I,
cool.
I want him to go back to his
Like-
body. He needs to go back to his own body.
like
Back,
if he
I
goes
need
to his,
Utah to go
Yeah, he
back to
does.
his body.
Being
he
a
goes back to his
30-year-old
body,
man's
all right,
body is
bet.
crazy.
get him and Maki
can't get with
together or
Maki.
whatever. Like,
He can still get with Maki and Gojo's body. Stop.
Stop! Don't you dare say that, bro.
Bro, that's
That's
weird, bro.
That's not. That's not.
That's weird.
that's weird.
That's
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 a
weird.
30-year-old man body, Lonnie.
They
Look,
can wait
look.
Oh
We're
my
not
god!
the
It's a,
red pill, all right?
it's
This
a
is not the
6
red
foot.
pill.
Lonnie,
it's a
let's not
6
get
foot
canceled.
white here, rich nigga's body. Oh no!
Lonnie, let's not get canceled.
Yo, Lonnie, we're not fresh and fit, all right? We don't. We don't.
I apologize. I
we don't-
apologize
Crazy
for my
straight
outburst. I
up
apologize
That's
for
a
my outburst.
W sound effect over there.
Yeah.
Let's make it in. So like
I
a
ain't gonna
time skip like 5-6 years down the line.
Why are you time skipping this? Just,
I don't-
just get him back in his body. Why do you
Yeah.
want this? Why are you
I
advocating
don't
for
want
this?
this. I'm saying it wouldn't be a big deal to Maki either way.
Yes, it would.
I think it would.
It would be a very big deal.
like you're in my dead sensei's body. That's weird.
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Is that not crazy? Like,
You can't look past that.
Yeah, like what?
Do we
I
need
ain't
to
gonna
look
lie.
up
If
some
you,
birth
I
date?
gonna ask you, if you'd have got to stay in Gojo's
I
body,
mean, he can look past her murk and her whole family. I'm just saying.
try
Whatever.
to turn
That's
Gojo
different.
Diddy. Exactly.
Yo,
I apologize for my outburst, y'all.
But I'll say
I'm
this,
just
I'll
being
say this,
nasty.
I ain't gonna lie. If Yuta has to stay in Gojo's body, if Yuta has to stay in Gojo's body, they need to burn him at the stake. Just get rid of him. Just get,
No, that's extreme. What?
Just get rid of, bro. First of all, it's weird that he's gonna be in Gojo's body. That's weird. Point number one. Like him staying there. That's odd, right?
I
Him-
take
you
it
want
back.
him to be with Maki. You can kiss that goodbye. Like, that's not happening. And then it's like he was prepared to die anyways. Just burn him at the stake. Just get rid of him.
I really do. Yuta's my favorite character. I want him to end up with Maki.
I
want him to end
want
up
him,
with
you know, I
Maki.
want him to
In
survive.
his
I hope he
body.
survives.
Yeah,
Just in his-
So if he can go back in his body,
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
Facts.
Yeah,
That's what
I'll
I'm
be
thinking.
fine
I
with
think
it.
that's just what happens. He goes back to his own body. I'm not really moved either way. But yeah, get him back in his body,
Yo.
keep it pushing.
Random's like, yo, this shit's mid, bro. I don't care, bro.
First of all, don't put words in my mouth. All right. Don't
I'm
put
just reading
words in
off
my
your
mouth.
energy, bro.
yeah, your energy
Look,
is very...
I've never been as high. Like, y'all love Yuta to the point y'all just disrespect Yuji, and I'm with time. Like I'm not just gonna disrespect Yuji, bro. Like, Yuji's
but-
great.
Also, didn't Yuta's body like die or whatever after it transferred?
I don't think it did.
No, it didn't die.
It didn't die.
It just
It was about to die though.
it didn't die.
Yeah, I thought I was like losing too much blood or whatever. So can he even go back? Is the question. I don't know.
yeah, bro. RCT.
You know what? Third option. Maybe they just put him into like one of those.
What are we doing? What are we doing right now?
No, I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. This because
First
Panda's like a curse.
Stop, bro. Stop.
Make Yuta.
Turn it
So
into
we're
a
going
horror.
from Diddy to like
W
completely
stop it.
weird stuff, bro. Get this dude out. Get him out of here.
You trying to
Get
turn
him outta
this
here.
into a
Can't get a
horror.
Yuta teddy bear.
No.
Trying to turn Maki into a furry, bro. Like,
That's crazy.
what we doing?
I didn't know. I didn't even go that far, Riddell. I didn't go that.
You said teddy bear, bro. I heard.
First things first, you mentioned Panda, which I'm not gonna say it, but you know exactly what you're intimating with that. You know exactly what you're
I'm not
intimating.
intimating nothing. I'm not intimating nothing. I'm saying if he can't, I say if he has to leave Gojo's body, maybe he could go into like a doll or so. I don't know. I'm trying to help him. I'm trying to help him out.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, bro.
You good, bro. Let's
Um,
keep moving.
I apologize for my outburst, y'all. I was trolling.
That's the second one. You can't apologize for your outburst anymore. What are we talking about?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't think the panda one's as bad.
Any